Yeah, it was about 60.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're about 10 degrees
Yeah.
less than us. That's cool. I think you guys are gonna. I think all of us are gonna get some more rain here pretty soon. We'll see.
Yeah, it's we've had pretty mild winters the past 4 or 5 winters, man. So I mean, I'm okay with that. It's just weird thinking back to when we were kids. Like I remember it snowing on Halloween and stuff like that, and just
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe in global warming or whatever, but I do believe in.
I know I mowed grass yesterday. So.
Did you really?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I totally could mow. I don't care to. It's not like it's gonna grow much, and yeah, I got a shitload of leaves laying around, but I'm not really one to care about leaves. Plus, I live in the country, and a strong gust of wind just kind of carries them out into the field. There's all the corn and beans are down now. It's just this open field everywhere. So
yeah, and you don't have any real neighbors to inconvenience with the leaves, which is really nice.
Well, just the one neighbor across the road. He keeps his yard nice and tight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, if I was in competition with him, I would definitely get out there. But dude, I think I've only mowed twice since DangerFest.
Nice.
So, I mean,
well, the orchard probably keeps a lot of growth down, I would assume, up underneath
it really does. Yeah, actually, there's a couple really condensed spots in the orchard that I skip every now and then because it just doesn't grow that much.
Yeah.
Which is nice because mowing around all those trees all the time can be daunting. There's a lot. Okay, so yeah, welcome back, everybody. This is our first. Wait, this is our first one since DangerFest, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. No. You and I tried, and it didn't work. And then we called and we talked to each other. Okay.
Yep.
So yes, this is the first official. Yeah, it's
late September. Yeah, it's about right.
Wow. I mean, yeah, there just hasn't been a whole lot to report on. You know, last time you and I talked on the phone, we had talked about DangerFest and all that stuff, and yeah, that seems like a long time ago now. Which is kind of 2 months. It's been almost exactly 2 months. But yeah. So what have you been up to, man? Let me know.
Oh, just I mean the farm. Kind of got into disc golf in the last month or so. I guess I went out for my 8th time today, and it's very easy to nerd out on just like the nice stuff. You got like grain weights, and you've got shapes, and you've got dome and flat tops, and you've got putters and mid range. You got all the stuff, right? And so, but we have like 24 courses in my city, and we have 14 that are less than like 7 miles from my house. And I have a really good friend that's a pro, so and it's free. And the discs are pretty cheap. So like the cost of entry, it's turned into a really fun, like kind of a cross training thing. You know, because I only do like the trick shot stuff, you can only throw it 5 and 6 meters for so long, and then you need something else to do. And this has been a really fun, just kind of like extra, but not having to relearn everything other than like some jargon. Most of the energy generating is the same. The vibe is real similar with the people, which is really cool.
I like it.
But it's super available, so I'm gonna play with it for a while I kind of hit like a plateau in throwing a little bit, and so I know most of us came to throwing from something else. It's not like we grew up, we had a diaper and we were throwing. Like James has created this nation family of tiny people that throw amazing already, but most of us weren't so lucky. I was in my 40s, I think, when I started, so or late 30s. But so if anybody gets to like a plateau or it gets wintertime, that's kind of what I was thinking about today when I was throwing with Kiefer. I was like, you know, this is so much more fun than if it got winter and you live somewhere where you had to go indoors and you didn't have an indoor spot except an axe throwing place, where it's like this between some mesh, or you can go outside and throw like in the woods, or most of the breweries here have an indoor putting league. And so it's like 80 feet and it's trick shots with a fucking Frisbee in a brewery, and you win
cool.
money.
80 yards is still far, or 80 feet. You say
80 feet. Yeah.
That's
everything's in feet. But yeah, I mean, you know, the basket's 24 inches, and you know they'll move stuff around to where it's really inconvenient to try to get it in the basket and stuff. it looks really fun. We have a glow in the dark league that starts up in a couple of weeks here. That's outdoor.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, and it's like you throw a few bucks in for like a ace hole competition to see if you can like ace one. My friend Kiefer's so good. He aced hole 7 the other day, and it wasn't even a big deal. To like 264 feet, and just clang. He was like, I aced that one, and I was just like, I was like, oh my god, dude. But it's really fun, like the throwing, and there's just nobody here that I can throw with except you guys on this phone, So it's been what I'm trying to do is get people to want to come throw knives with me there, which is great. So my bag, this kept falling because my putters would make it sag, so I cut a little opening in it, and I made I just put my throwing knife in there to give it some rigidity.
Yeah.
I may never get it back out now. It's worked all day today, but I've got a synergy in here. Yeah, boom. So I just so this is my gateway while we're sitting around like waiting on somebody. I'm like, oh man, check this out. This is how I fix my bag from sagging. And they're like, oh, well, have to throw a knife, and then it's just like segue, right? So I've got some people that are interested. So I'm hoping that it'll be like a way to introduce, because these are some cool people to hang out with. It'd be really cool to get them in an environment where I'm better than they are. And that would be kind of fun for a minute,
Have they shown any interest?
Yeah, and that's the thing is they're really into like flight path, how something feels. Grip is everything. How much finger you have on the flight plate. Are you pressing into the rim? Like it's all of this
they'll
stuff.
love knife throwing then.
Oh, dude, that's what I'm telling them. And that was why I was able to gravitate towards this. I mean, literally 5 blocks from my house is the world's 7th oldest park. And it's also an owl sanctuary. So it's just this beautiful 80-foot pine trees. It looks like Narnia in there. And yet you just pull up and you just go at it. Like, you don't have to talk to anybody. You don't have to do anything. You just like grab one of these and grab one of those and start walking, for a mile.
Yeah, that sounds. The more I talk to you about it, the more I want to do it, man.
It was so cheesy to me 20 years ago. It was like all my Birkenstock friends that loved widespread panic too much. Dude, I mean, mushrooms are fun, but I can't do them every day. I can't live with you guys. But here it's a whole bunch of like engineers, because we got like NASA and Grumman and Granger and all that shit here. But yeah, I mean, everybody's just been like a really mellow vibe. They're really encouraging, just like knife throwing. Like if you do anything good, they tell you everything that you did right, so you can think that you're amazing for a second. I did do like an 80-foot putt the other day. I was really, really pumped, and like birdied it. And Kiefer was like, "Damn, dude, that was gnarly."
Now, let me ask you a question. What makes it a putt?
Well, inside the 32-foot circle is technically a putt. So this was maybe a slightly mid-range shot at 80 feet. But I was using a putter. It was my second throw on a par 3. And sunk it. I was pumped. And I threw my first one like right into some trees. It was short. It was ugly. But I'm left-handed, so it was kind of favorable for me. And that's the other thing is all the discs will tell you like on the front of them with like numbers what their like speed rating is, how they turn, how they fade, how long they stay in the air and stuff. So you can kind of figure that out. I'm left-handed, so it's all backwards for me almost. So I just have to remember that, or it's forehand for me and not backhand. So it's a lot like, is it no spin or is it half spin or is it roto? And in roto, is it 1.5? Is it 2? It's all of that with this. It's just, I mean, it is literally a plug and play. I just have people I can go with. I mean, that's literally all. I can go ride with 3 other people and have 4 people playing disc golf, or I can sit in my backyard and can't throw too far because they'll throw it over the fence, and then I gotta go find it in the or I just go to a well-maintained course that has amenities and it costs nothing. And it's like, wow, and it's the same skill set. So what I'm trying to do is like, I'm hoping to see maybe knife throwing kind of grow around here, and if it does, it'll kind of grow like at my pace because I'm the only one here doing it. Because that was the thing. This is so much more synonymous with how we throw it. Like at your place, it would just be like, it's almost like a disc golf course, just smaller, as opposed to like an axe throwing bar is like going to the dentist kind of in comparison. It's just like, I don't want to do that. So if in the wintertime, anybody that's watching this, if you have like a putting league that does indoor and it's too cold to throw, and it's either, do I pay $30 an hour to throw overhead at 4 meters, or do I go for free and maybe throw a 10 spot in a pot that I might win with a bunch of people at a brewery with the lights off and glowing I mean, I don't know, man. It's pretty fun, and it's the same skill set. You're not if you throw sidearm at all, man. A forehand in frisbee or in disc golf is the exact same thing. I mean, it's so similar. It's stupid. And yeah, I mean, so for me right now, this has been really fun. I kind of got to where there's just so much content. I was always just, I just like to make content and watch content. And I still watch all of y'all's stuff. Most of you guys get my comments and stuff.
Thank you.
My algorithm has changed a little bit because there's some trials bicycles and disc golf on there now a little bit, and dogs. So a few less people that I haven't seen in a minute, but there's just so much content out there. It's like, man, they don't need me. I can go work on something else for sure right now. So it's been super fun. It's just another hobby. I came from pistol shooting to got into knives. Now I got into discs. I figured I'll probably take up like crocheting next. I'm just getting like sissy as it goes. It's like guns, knives, discs. Like next making doilies.
Hey, I got a question, but before I get that question, I just want to say hello to everybody. What's up, everybody? Thank you all for watching. Sorry for the delay. I just honestly haven't really felt like there's a whole lot to talk about. Things are changing in the knife throwing community, in my opinion, in the knife throwing
bigger
world.
And starting to like there's factions that are kind of like moving. And I mean, knife throwing's doing this, but like it's kind of like the shuttle breaking apart. There's all these little factions of different types of styles of throwing and lifestyle people that throw. And it was going to do that, right? I mean, it didn't have a choice.
That's a normal thing, and that always happens. It's just that what's been really bothering me lately that I've been thinking about is when I first got into this, I was 32. I'm 44 now, about to turn 45 next in January. And there was a huge group of us that were about the same age, give or take 5 years. So there's like a 10-year range that all of us were in that group. And 10, 12 years later, everybody's kind of, gotten families, gotten married, changed careers, moved, they've died. A lot of the people that I've used to throw with or interact with online are dead now, or just don't throw or anything. It's just something that I gotta get used to. And it just reminds me of, I always used to ride BMX, and at a certain point, BMX doesn't become cool. It wasn't cool at one point because you're a kid. You're not supposed to be, riding little kids' bikes or whatever. Then you see all your friends quit riding. And, I don't know, just kind of bums me out a little bit. And I'm kind of worried about where knife throwing as a whole is going. Are we destined to stay in the backyard? And that's fine too. But then there's, WKTL out there and those other organizations that are bastardizing it and stuff. So I don't know. I'm just kind of bummed out. Boo-hoo, boo is me.
Well, I mean, here's what it doesn't have going for it. It's the liability part. That's why you can't go, hey, I'm going to go set up a knife throwing thing at the local brewery and we're going to have a trick shot night. Because it's going to be like, no, somebody's going to get stabbed with a fucking knife. It's going to happen. With disc golf, somebody's going to get hit with a putter. I guarantee it. I mean, it's just going to have some ricochet off the refrigerator, hit somebody. But it's a rubber disc. It's 176 grams, but it's not a sharp object.
That's true. But there are precautions that can be taken to prevent all that stuff.
I agree. I understand. I just hate the fact, because I wanted to do stuff like that here. It's just like I just wanted to pull up, kind of like what Lobo had. Trailer, wall, throw, have a big, huge parameter of don't get over here. Oh, you want to come in? 15 steps to come over, and you throw the cans of the breweries that make that be. I mean, like, because we're brewery heavy. Yeah, we're brewery heavy here. Do it for free just to throw and hang out, right? I mean, I don't give a shit. Just get exposure to throwing. They don't really want you doing that when you hear I'm throwing a knife, because no one goes, oh, well, let me check your Instagram. Oh, you know how to do that really well? That's cool. Yeah. No, you're gonna throw a knife in the air? No, dude. Sorry. Like, sounds awesome on television we'll put it on the big screen, you know, like, but no, you're not doing it in real life. So, if we can figure out how to do that, or, you know, I kind of think that throwing kind of skipped this step for like what BMX and skateboarding did. Nobody got as good as they are by not sitting there for an hour and a half watching videos before they went out there and drug that plywood ramp down their driveway and annoyed the shit out of their neighbors for the next 5 hours. You went in
100%,
there. I mean, and that's the whole thing. Dude, dude, I'm telling you, man. I don't care that
we wore this motherfucker out when we were kids.
Out. I mean, I don't care what the algorithms are about, like short 15-second videos, content up front, blah, blah, blah. I want to see dope intro, some fails, more intro, a teaser of the end, an intro, a banger, the next guy's part, a 40-minute knife throwing video of every heavy hitter that is dope, like with good editing. I would wear that out. Dude, I still watch your stuff. I watch so many old videos. I watch my old videos because a year ago I was probably better than I am now. And so it's fun to sit back and just go, this was when I was in this, like, figuring it out, super pumped about it. You can go back a year on anybody's timeline that's still good right now. Go back a year, their videos were sick. Because there was this time of, like, people were just so amped about throwing and getting creative and not necessarily repeating what each other did, but might do one, but they give props for it, not like, I'm gonna do it too. It's like, you know, thanks for, you know, it was just like, it was a whole different, like if you look at it as like a rock layer on the side of a cliff, you'd see this like one dark layer of like badassery that was like a year and some change of like everybody was throwing.
I totally agree. Yeah.
So anybody that's listening, don't be afraid of making some like long content just for the thrower people, like not algorithm dad, you know, like maybe some of us want to watch a 15-minute video of a bunch of your cool stuff, or take anything of mine and collab it with anything of yours if you want to make a long video of just knife throwing. I would love to see somebody just go through everybody's pages and just rob all of their cool videos and just make this big long thing of just like dope throwing. It was just back to back to back to back to back to back. I mean, I'd watch the shit out of that. It'd be so rad.
I totally agree, but the problem with that is, man, that takes an absurd amount of time and effort.
Yeah. But that's how BMX and skateboarding and Red Bull are all friends. You know, it's like it was all editing. It was all the time that was behind that got every kid pumped to go out and buy a knife, buy a sheath, buy a timer, buy a you know, whoever wants to make the 3-5 meter line markers that you can buy, or, you know, anything that M3 can make, like all of that would be what's going to put it on the map. You know, you're not going to get on your knees and go, Heavenly Father, you know, like that ain't going to happen. And most of us, all of us together, I mean, we just don't have, you know, aim games, homie money, you know, like if we had 15 of those guys, maybe, but like, I mean, you just need sponsorship. That's everything. Like Brunt is rad. I mean, that's like an actual company.
I'm trying, but there's no incentive. I told them, I was like, hey, just if there ever comes, you know, if you ever are looking to sponsor someone like me, please, I'm the guy. I've been repping your shit for a couple of years now. They just sent me some more products to test out. They like the videos I make for them promoting their producs.
Yeah, and the bad thing is somebody will have to go through all of your stuff, and they'll find something that socially doesn't like jive for a liability. Again, it goes back to this liability stuff. It's like you will not be able to be yourself. You know, you'd have to be a G-rated version of yourself, or whatever.
Why? I mean, there's no reason they should pick me. And if they ever were going to pick someone, they would pick someone out of the WKTL or WATL, because there's eyeballs on that and there's money. Even though it's gay as fuck.
Yeah,
that's just what it is.
Not in a cool sucking way, like GAGY, just for you guys in there. But
sorry.
Yeah, I mean that's so Barbasol is like one of the larger sponsorships I've seen on.
Yeah, you were telling me about that.
Stuff. I mean, that's a huge company, but like I don't shave very. I mean, if I do, it's electric. I don't put foam on my face or whatever. But Brixton, that clothing company, I've seen their banners out on stuff. So yeah, I mean, where would a disc golf company pull from other than inside, right? Like people who make disc golf bags and discs, and New Balance actually has a shoe that I think is kind of like the shoe for disc golf. But you know, it's been around. You know, this has been around since like the '70s, like early '70s.
No.
So I mean, and there's thousands of courses. I mean, so with knife throwing, it might do some good to kind of look and see how they market stuff, because it isn't as big deal as like ball sports or any of that kind of shit. But a lot of people do it in this town. There's thousands of people that throw discs. I mean, literally thousands of people. There's 280,000 people here, but there are thousands of them that throw discs. Like you're not going to go to a course and people are going to play through on you. You play through on people. Like they get fairly full. But you're out in the woods usually, so you don't see anybody. It's Alabama. But at any rate, I think for throwing to like grow to where it's a money maker, because like the world record thing, I know people think that's cool. That's not going to make you any money. Like that's to make you feel good. We all know that. That's totally fine for the most part. There's a lot of those out right now. Sponsorship is the only play, because like other than that, like one of us has to pay the other one for throwing well. That's either gambling or somebody gets an LLC to pay throwers. Man, I don't know where else where you generate income.
That was ultimately my goal, but I don't know. I'm trying to do all these different things like podcasting and YouTube thing and fucking everything. It's just I just like to throw, honestly. I'm trying to fill all these shoes, but I'm not that guy. Like I'm trying, but
and if you guys watching want to delegate yourself to help, like, I mean, and that's the other thing is like, if you actually can, like, get in where you fit in with being able to help somebody, because it's about helping, not just getting in the way or whatever. But I throwing definitely needs some like chiefs up top, probably helping you and a couple other guys that are trying to actually move the ball forward. There's no incentive for me to do a whole lot of that. It's like I run a family farm, bro. Like I'm busy, and like I can see where my money goes and who it goes to, and equipment breaks, and like to try to progress it any further than making content and watching content and keeping people pumped and trying to stay active. I don't have a whole lot of resources available other than the time that I don't have. I mean, like, all I could do is send somebody some money. What is that going to do? Like, I'd definitely be interested to know, because you could throw $1,000 at something and it do nothing at all, or it could do something. But money is, I mean, God damn, $1,000 now isn't what it was 3-4 years ago. I mean,
yeah, that's true.
I mean, $1,000 is like, what is that? Which sounds snobby and stupid, but it's like, literally, what are you going to do with it? Pay your utility bill and a car payment, and you're out. You're getting no money.
Yeah, I know. It's
so. Yeah, I would love to see. I think that I really would love to see a throwing like video, like a 30-minute video. I mean, and again, it ain't gonna make nobody no money. Like whoever took the hundreds of hours to do it you would just have the respect of everybody that throws, probably, and they would watch it over and over and over again. And like it's a bad thing. I mean, it's just hard. I mean, my friend Kuiper is a pro disc golfer, but I think he made like $12 grand last year doing it. It's just like, now Gannon Burr made $239,000 last year at 19 years old playing disc golf. So you can make it, but I mean, I'm sure it's travel, and he's pro and he's sponsored and blah, and there's got to be like some like money there first. Maybe there needs to be like an aim games that has like a huge pot, like. And then that person's obligated to take like 20% or whatever of those winnings and do something knife oriented with. I don't know. All I know is if you want to do it for the money, it's got to be there for it, and it's just hard. There's a lot of things that I really like that make no money. It's just the way it is.
The aim games is a totally different thing, though. Yes, it is knife throwing, and it's very similar. It is what we do, but it's on a different.
It's game style competition, I guess, or
it's like the preppy version or something. It's just not my style. I can't do it, dude. I just like to come out here and I like to do whatever the fuck I want.
Yep.
I don't like to have an agenda. I don't like to make. If I force myself to make a video, I don't want to do it. I just don't. I just I come out here and I'm like, what am I going to do today? And I just make it up. Yeah. Like I have all these fucking projects that are sitting over on my fucking workbench, and I don't want to do them. I don't want to do them because I'm like, I'm supposed to do them, and I don't want to. I'm sorry. It is. It's like I got to force myself to do one this week, but I don't know, man.
Let's go into some of these comments and
go ahead.
I'm gonna go way back. So James, if you're still on here, dude, your family is. I don't know if there's a more cohesive knife ninja family than the Nation family. Like those guys.
Yeah,
are
no
insane.
shit.
They are so insane. That bullet spin throw at the car the other day that Aiden did. God. Hope they done that vasectomy. That's what the knife throwing community needs to do is do a GoFundMe for Aiden's vasectomy so he doesn't get a girl pregnant too soon. Oh man,
dog face. Where's your toys at?
Where's your toys? 132 watching. Check us out. Oh, 63 watching now, but a
wow.
while ago people were really pumped to see us. Apparently, lemon pepper steppers. Man, that sounds kind of good. Those like jalapeno poppers, but with like salmon. Don't be a zesty lowlife. Man, that's a lot of like code talk or something, I think. Larry, dude, talking about a cool vibe. If I met Larry on a disc golf course, I would never be surprised. Like there are so many of that guy out there, like way too cool for school.
Yeah.
Like
he used to race mountain bikes and shit downhill too.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's just gnarly all the way around. Oh man. Sorry, I'm a one language kind of guy. I can speak very country, but I don't think any of you people want to hear that. Fun thought. Oh, I thought you said song. I got to get my glasses. Man, my eyes are so bad. Turning 47, like from 45 to 47, my eyes have gone so downhill. Like I'm just trusting that I know that these 5-letter words begin with a K is knife and not something else. I have no idea what it really says.
Yeah, I need to get new glasses pretty soon. Actually, I've needed them for the past year. I'm just lazy.
I like the longer videos. I watch them. Jeff White, I'm glad. I mean, I used to get pumped on them, man. Like it was something. I mean, I know the algorithm never, doesn't really like that, but I mean,
no,
I've never made content for it anyway. So I mean, for me,
I told myself I was never going to make another long form video. I spent so much time. I took a year's worth of videos and edited it down into. And looking back, I should have edited I should have cut out way more fat, and my editing skills have gotten way better since then. But I took all of 2020 and I edited it all into that trick shot murder thing.
Yeah.
I had original music made for it. I had an intro made for it, and then, I gave tribute to everybody that was in the Full Tang Clan and thank you and fucking all this stuff. And then the Full Tang Clan imploded right after that. I kicked everybody out for being cunts. And, it just didn't. I was like, no, fuck, there's no, I have one stupid video I made this year. It got 37.5 million views. And that video, I think, has 400 views. So that video, I took all that time and
out of your tool bag.
400 fucking views.
That is insane.
Which, so, man. And
37 million. I mean, but I love how you just like gloss over that number. But
dude, I'm extremely grateful. But it gets to a point where it just becomes normal. Like I
hear that?
I went from 5,000 subscribers. I'm at 140,000 right now, and it's just, it's awesome. It's amazing. I never thought I'd be at this point, but once you see all those numbers up there, you're like, fuck yeah, finally, I'm making money. Money's coming in every month, and then it goes down, and then down, and then down, and then like I'm trying to repeat what I did in those other videos, and it's not working, and it's like, and I just can't bring myself to make douchey videos. Douchey videos do well. They do super well. I'm not a douche. I can't do douchey videos. It drives me nuts. But that's how the algorithm is. Like, comment, subscribe. It's fucking
Well, I mean, not even that, but it's like, let me show you how to no spin, half spin, full spin at 3 meters and thumbs up, like, and subscribe. And it's just like, that's the bad thing is, their demographic isn't the throwing community. It's everybody that would be amazed if they saw someone stick a knife in a board, period.
Yeah, I know.
it's like going to when I used to live in Boulder, Colorado, Pearl Street. If anybody's ever been there, it's got some of the most amazing street performers anywhere. I mean, there was a guy that I lived there for a little over a year, and every day that I went down Pearl Street, he would be out there. He could take a playing card. It was a 2-lane street that intersected Pearl Street. I think it was 9th or Broadway, one of the two. And he could throw that playing card up onto the 3-story building across the street. And he would do it all day.
Yeah.
And he made all kinds of money. Like, these aren't poor people. It's like $200 a month just to like get the thing to do it. These people had, they drove nice cars. I mean, they just were street performers, professional ones.
Yeah.
And it was so awesome. But that was just it. When I first saw him throw that card effortlessly across a 2-lane street and onto a 3-story building over and over and over again, it got way less and less impressive. Kind of like when you catch your first can and you flip out, and then you catch 20 or 30 in a session, and it's not near the orgasm you had the first one. So visually, since we already know that what you or people like you are trying to cater to are very short attention span dopamine chasers. Yeah, dude, it's just a matter of time for they to stop coming around, because or you're going to work yourself to death to like give these guys some eye porn that you will never even meet a 10th of these people, 100th of these people. And they might all even be shitbags and like not good people in the world, so like, why would you, it just seems like a lot of work, to entertain, unless it's going to make some money. And the bad thing is the subject matter doesn't guarantee a long-term base, because it's still pretty new to most of us. Like, I've been throwing maybe 4 or 5 years, but man, what's 4 or 5 years? I know people that have been playing baseball or football since they were 3, that are my age. So It's kind of like, and that's why if you probably watch, I bet you can go to baseball or football or whatever YouTube channels, which I don't know anything about that stuff, but I bet there's lots of people that have millions of followers or hundreds of thousands of followers and or millions of views of stuff, because it's just a broader, more guaranteed base to have eyes on, right? So like bass fishing or something like that. I mean, something like here they teach in high school, literally. So,
wow,
yeah, dude, there's bass high school fishing teams.
And you know what? Maybe a lot of this is my problem. Maybe I haven't found my niche yet, which I've tried it all. In the beginning, I wanted to be a performer, and then I found out that impressing people that don't throw, that's really easy. Anybody can do that.
But that's where your money's going to be, and all those high numbers for the algorithm are going to be. We've talked about this before. There's 8,000 knife throwers on the whole planet, probably.
Yeah.
You've already got all of their subscriptions. Like now you are finding 10-year-old kids have Ninja Turtle outfits on, 40-year-old guys that like doing stuff that they watch while they're at work at their cubicle or at the office.
Yeah.
It's just every other person that's not a thrower that would be interested in knife throwing, which when I bring it up to most people, if they don't do something like shoot or throw discs, they kind of look at me like, hey, have you ever had sex with a mule? It's just like, they don't know how to really, they don't know what to say. They're like, no, why would I throw a kitchen utensil? It's like, oh, no, not like that. Yeah. So it's there though. I just don't know. We've talked about this before, on the phone and stuff. It's like, how does it grow and get into this, like, into that vein of monetization? And it really is like somebody's going to need a drink company. I mean, a drink company is the play, because the only way they make any money is off of advertising. There's a bazillion of these. Just pick a brand. Like you go to a convenience store, it's just cases of cold things that you can pop open. Get any of them to give you money. There you go. And, and it may be like going to maybe talking to the city council or something and seeing about, making like put it in with some sort of like talent event, or, if you guys have like this sort of like local, fairs or community, hell, even like a harvest festival that'll be coming up, this time of year, in November everywhere.
That's a good point, man. You're right. I should get myself out there more, and part of that is, hell, I've only had my license back since like March or April or something. Yeah, so I'm still kind of getting used to driving myself around, honestly.
And you haven't wrecked yet, so that's great.
No, I have not. I'm a giant pussy when it comes to driving again now. I don't know. That whole driving fast and reckless shit. That's kind of out of me at this point. I'd rather take care of my stuff and make it last. My brother just got a 2009 Impreza after he blew up his old Impreza, and like, I was like, "You gonna take care of this one?" He's like, "Oh, it's got a year warranty." Of course, he's 29 years old, and I'm like, "Okay, dude, whatever. You do whatever to that car. That's fine with It just makes me cringe. I'm like, I don't want to spend that much money. Fuck that.
Nope. No, thank you. Well, I think that looking at some of these throw sessives and knife hunting videos. Here in Alabama, it is legal to spear hunt deer and hogs here. I think that, and I've dove hunted with a blowgun before. I like the idea of primitive skill stuff. I would kind of like to see some people even maybe do some more like primitive skill type videos that aren't silly or whatever. But what's that? Donnie Paleo guy that does like all the flint napping. He does it all like paleo style. I watch his stuff pretty religiously, but
yeah, he's great.
It would be really cool to like if somebody wanted to do some history and figure out like maybe sure they didn't throw stuff like that, but you could make some things or just get like some trick shot ideas maybe from like an era. Maybe that's something that maybe trick shot's missing. Maybe we need to do like some timelines. Like you need to do like a 1970s disco trick shot, and like people do like Halloween costumes, right? Like you got to like figure out, I don't know. I mean, the trick shot thing, that's all I've lived for so long, and I've seen so many crazy ones, and I've done some crazy ones, and it's just kind of gotten to where now it's like I don't know what else you'd really do unless you started inventing like weird apparatus or have a juggling bear on a unicycle or something come in.
It's getting tough, man. I have that one that I haven't hit. It's a new one that I came up with, but it's hard to come up with a new one. You got people like Knife Mare TJ. He's still coming up with a lot of original stuff. He's still killing it. But then there's also like people that are doing trick shots that they may think is new or whatever that I did or someone else did like 4 or 5 years ago.
I'll never forget the airplane. I was like, dude, I'm gonna make a paper airplane, and I'm going in here like I did that like 3 years ago, and I was like, it's good talking.
That was my first viral video.
So crazy. It's a great one. Somebody should revisit that. I could make a good one that could barrel loop, but you threw yours like straight and pinned it.
I was trying. I was trying to make that one. I couldn't. I used to make those in high school all the time in middle school, and at the time I could not remember the trick to it.
Yeah.
And I need to look it up again.
Yeah.
Yeah. We used to call them bats for whatever reason because of the flat nose, I think.
Yeah.
But
well, I would like to see. I would be so pumped to see you get picked up by a beverage company, mainly just because like they live and breathe advertising. Like not clothing companies, kinda. But man, I mean, like soda and like alcohol companies. I mean, that's all they do, right? And and if it's alcohol, it's for like having a good time, and then it's backyard throwing, and like to me, the marketing seems like it writes itself for any cool like Americana, blah, backyard barbecue, 4th of July. I mean, it's all of that, right? Like it seems like it just it checks all those boxes.
I agree. I totally agree. But it's really hard to get anyone to sponsor me. Like, why? I'm so glad that Brunt found me somehow and sent me a pair of boots.
That's so cool.
But I haven't gained one follower since then. I'm shadow banned on Facebook and on Instagram, and TikTok hates me for whatever reason, which I don't care about TikTok. But and I finally just told Brunt about my YouTube channel, and dude, we've been doing big numbers on fucking streaming. Last weekend we had 53,000 people watch, which blew my mind. But a lot of that had to do, I had James and his son Aiden over, and for whatever reason, people really like to watch them throw, and then I was able to be on camera and answer questions and stuff. And that was like a really good formula, and it kept people's attentions for some reason. But the weekend before that, I had 35,000 people watch. So, and I love doing those live videos. I don't care. Like I'm really comfortable doing those. I'm comfortable with my throwing. Trick shots don't always work out so well, but it's whatever.
I mean, that is a good look, having a young kid, and he's not like oh golly gee guys, like he's not like a square kid, but he's a really
Yeah.
good kid. You met him in person.
Very good kid.
Yeah, dude, like
The
that is
whole family's
parenting on
great.
1,000 right there. I wonder if like a supplement company might be a play or something. They're going to be another high profit margin company that's going to be advertising heavy. That's what I think it's going to need is like high profit margin company, or else they don't have it to give, that really require people seeing it and identifying themselves or wanting to be that. Like there's not an SUV commercial that thing's not doing stuff that thing's never going to go do. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
what was it? Where are you in the Salt
yeah,
Flats in Utah? Now you're in Oregon mountains and
yeah.
seven
You're gonna
ninety
be
nine a
driving that
month on
thing
a
to the
lease.
mall.
Yeah, dude, exactly
Yeah.
right. So, I mean, maybe you should. Man, I wonder if a car dealership might be a play for you locally. They got an obtuse amount of discretionary funds. Are you getting another drink? I am too.
No.
Damn it.
So, guys, maybe I'm on the right track already, and it's been a slow burn for me anyway. So why not just? I'm never going to continue. I'm never going to stop making videos. I'm never going to stop throwing.
Yeah.
I'm never going to stop posting videos, and maybe I'm just on the right track. Maybe I just got to keep continuing to do what I do.
Well, it would just be nice for you to get a little more justification or a little bit more and you've made some really cool milestones, like 37 million on a video, got over 100K subscribers on YouTube. But I've watched how much work that you've put in this, and I've also known that DangerFest is a huge chunk. It's probably 3 months of your 12 months that gets a lot of brain space.
Yeah.
And a lot of your physical time. So
yeah, definitely, man.
And it's not like you're packing stacks of money when that's over either. So
We're not making any money, dude. We made none.
That's
No money. We're not.
Y'all hear that? I mean, this is
I've
a
never.
labor of love kind of thing. And if you want to make your lifestyle your livelihood, which I've done that with a skateboard shop and a gun range in my life, and both of them made money, and then they just didn't make money because like skateboarding or skateboarding in '08 wasn't what it was in '03, '04. It just got less popular, and also the housing crisis didn't really help. But
Yeah.
and then the gun range, man, when I started it up like 7 or 8 years ago, everybody here was competition shooting, buying super high end like gun belts and holsters, and it was like a whole lifestyle. And that's all kind of died off now. And I'm so glad that I already own the property. The steel, all the steel targets I wanted anyway. So the cost of entry, and I never lost any money on it. It just stopped making money, and that's fine. But not everybody has that luxury. So I think with throwing, and I never looked for sponsorship or anything. I owned it. I had sponsored people that I sponsored. So, but man, I think if you could find a beverage company that liked the lifestyle vibe, and I think it would have to be selling the lifestyle vibe, which would be also a really good idea if somebody would make a cool video of the lifestyle vibe of shooting, like the chilling part of it, the hanging out part, like the camaraderie part, the throwing, the competition part, the trick stuff, the hand making stuff. All of that is like, man, is this like some Renaissance artsy fartsy elite group of people? And it's like, uh, no, they're all like really, really nice. Like, go talk to any of them. Go talk to Penny. Go talk to Dom. Go talk to you. Go talk. I mean, they're all just nice. Some of them look insanely unapproachable until you meet them, and you're like, "Can I cuddle with you?" They're just like the nicest people ever, right? So, um, I think that it deserves a chance to get more eyes. And even though there's a couple other guys that have like lots of subscribers and have a lot of eyes. A lot of it's worldwide though. I think even when Lobo got like really huge numbers, most of those were not coming from the States. Like those numbers they weren't really applicable to anything that was going to make a difference here. Right. And so
That's true. Yeah. That's
I mean,
true.
the bottom line, like even though it's in the black, like is it in my pocket or is it just a black number? I mean, oh look, this is a huge number. Like, what does does that translate into like, you know, deli meat in my fridge or a hand job or like the car's got a full tank of gas? Like, if it doesn't, then I'm kind of like, well, I don't really know what that number means now. Like, that just looks
Yeah.
like, can you print that out on a shirt? I mean, I don't know what that does. So, and unfortunately, I think throwing, like I said, in order for it to grow to where people have a financial incentive, sponsorship is gonna. I mean, it's got to have like a somebody that's willing to tie in with it and go, hey man, I got 5 Gs on a competition, you know, and then you get like some exposure via, I don't know, since Netflix will pick up the shittiest fight in the whole world and give it to you for free. Maybe they'll take a free knife throwing competition. Like, well, that was a trashiest waste of my time.
I was legitimately sad the whole weekend because of that fight. I was sad, dude.
That was insanely disappointing. I was, as an old person, I was very mad at old people. Couldn't believe it.
I mean, kudos for them making bank, doing all that.
He made $20 million to stand there in his underpants. And Jake Paul, I think, made 38.
I bet he made way more than that with all of his other sponsors and his YouTube and his social media and all that stuff, you know. But
man, I mean, if Netflix will do that, like they should just turn their cameras on me and you right now, and we just go out in the backyard in the dark and just plank them to the fence. You know, like that was abysmal.
Just, you know, that's the other one of the things that really bothered me about the whole thing is Jake Paul. He's a douche. He's a massive, massive douche. Like probably top tier douche of all time.
Yeah.
And us as a society, we keep rewarding these people. That's what bothers me so much. It's like the people that are genuine or not doing it for monetary gain, they're overlooked or whatever. And it's just like, but it's a spectacle. I understand that. That. Yes, we all wanted to see his head come off. Yes, I wanted to see him get CTE, shake on the ground, and then die. But
I'm not giving you an argument or anything. I mean, I really don't know. Fast draw should have already kind of been a thing, in my opinion, and I almost think that it may need to like distinguish itself away from the other aspects of throwing. Because like here's what we don't watch. When we watch bowling, we don't watch 1-lane bowling, 2-lane bowling, 2-hand bowling. We watch bowling. So maybe if we're going to watch knife throwing, we watch fast draw knife throwing, and we don't watch. I mean, because I don't do roto. Nobody does half spin competitions hardly, and if there is, it's single digit percentages of competitions that have it. I've never seen one. I think did you guys do one this year? Okay. But at any rate, like super, not really as popular. So if you're going to introduce it to the world, maybe let's not show the world, hey, guess what we do? We stand at 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, walk that shit back and do the same thing over and over again and grade it. Y'all want to watch that? Like, how about we go, hey, we get side to side and we chuck these bitches like we're going to kill each other as fast as we can. Like, I want to watch that. And then later you can go, hey, well, we also do this walk back thing that you might want to look at. I mean, just like leave it at that if they want to go look at it, because zero interest here, So
you're right. Like,
and maybe you could get a fast draw thing at a brewery. Like if you could get like a two-station thing, and nobody else is like, you have to like sign up like the putting thing. Like you get 12 people, dude. I bet the bar would get packed.
Yeah,
I mean,
that kind of comes down to. I'm not the guy for that either because, Judah just kicked us out of the fucking group on Facebook.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's fine. Judah, if you're watching, it's fine, dude. I'm not even mad. I don't want to fucking deal with it. I'll be honest with you. You can do whatever you want. So. I don't fucking care. I don't want to fucking deal with it. I don't want to do DangerFest. I don't want to fucking do it anymore. But I'm going to have to because I fucking have to because Ichtov is going to go nowhere. There's not going to be fucking shit except for Blade Aces and DangerFest. So that's it. That's all we got. So I'm not going to let 150 people down every year. So I'm going to have to keep doing fucking DangerFest.
Well, these 150 people, and I know a lot of them do a lot for throwing on their own right. And I think that's going to be it is throwing, I think, needs to realize, because I know several people who are really good at throwing, and they're a lot kind of in my boat of not being like super pumped about throwing right now, but they're not pumped and like bummed out. Like I kind of lost a little bit of interest because I wasn't getting any better and my content wasn't getting any cooler. And I have people that do things around me that are really similar. And really for me, it's not about anyone knowing who I am so much. It's about like building a skill set that I think is really awesome. Like I can throw some shit in a trash can now better than I could 5 years ago. Just still now. So like with disc golf, like, now you're kind of like looking at an angle for a long way, and you're figuring out like what the wind's doing. It's kind of like hunting a little bit. Like, you got to know what the wind's doing. You got to see what your target is. So it's kind of like deer hunting in that respect. And then you have to like see what your trajectory of like your flight path of your disc and like what it's going to do while it's out there. What kind of throw are you going to do? So it's a little bit more there's a little bit more involved than just like throwing, which for me I enjoy. But what I'm getting at is, while I'm watching the competitions and stuff, and I see the sponsors, I notice, because I'm a brand whore, shallow piece of shit. I know what most of them are, and I'm like, oh, those aren't like like Barbasol. I was like, I'm sure it's probably a Nasdaq traded company. I don't know,
Probably.
but like, I don't buy it. But man, I mean, I'm sure that their gross sales annually is 8 figures, 9 figures. Who knows? I mean, they got to make, probably is hundreds of millions of dollars. Yeah, it's totally 9 figures. What am I thinking? Probably 10 figures. So they can afford to pay out 20, 30, $40,000 a game. They have their name on all these holes. And then
it's
there's
no big deal. No big deal to a company like that.
That's kind of what I'm getting at, is like, Brunt Workwear, I'm sure, makes a shit ton of money. Like, their ads are top notch and stuff, but like the profit margins for making, I mean, like, dude, what do you think that costs?
Yeah.
Same thing with like this stuff, or
yes.
So I mean, while that stuff doesn't seem sexy to people who want to like, I want to get sponsored, like early on, like I kind of wanted a knife sponsor in the beginning. That was kind of like, if somebody was going, hey, let me throw you some knives, that was going to be like, I was done. I got some free knives from several people, and I was like, this is the coolest shit ever. But so I couldn't imagine like getting paid for it. But I mean, I've met lots of pro people, especially here. There's the professional bass people and shit that make like real, like that's what they do, and they have a nice house money. But the companies are boat companies, or their Bass Pro Shop, or their Cabela's, or they're like, oh, damn, like Cabela's, yeah, they can throw you 10 grand, and that money is just so you can go to the competition to win 20. I mean, it's, so you still have to go put in the work. So now you have a full-time job doing something that you used to love, and you might not. When I had my skateboard shops, I had 2 skateboard shops and an indoor skate park, and I wanted to kill a skateboarder, dude. I didn't want to see one. I didn't want to talk about pink shoelaces, or your stupid skinny pants,
that's gotta
or
be
what
terrible.
size deck you want, and do these 169s fit under an 8 1/4 and 52s? Is that too small? And I'm just like, dude, you're 12 and you just started. It's like, none of this matters. And I was so judgy and stupid, when it's like, that's what I do. Like, I just got into disc golf, and I have to like, I'm sure I'm annoying to Kiefer. I'm like, hey man, like, you think this just when I throw it this way and this barometric pressure? It's just like, so not good enough to even be asking the questions, right? So I mean, that's the thing with hobbies and interests, and then passions. Man, like, you get to like, you really love it a lot, to the point you start to like hate that other people do it if they're not good enough. It's like, then you're in a bad spot. And I think that in throwing, I've kind of seen that. Some people come up and some people get salty. Tortorici was that guy for me, like, for a long time. I was just like, damn, dude, like, why are you hating on me? Like, I don't even, not even, what is your deal? And
it was all religion type stuff. I do think that he's an okay person. It's just the religion stuff got to him too much. And by the way, his wife was watching our live last weekend. I said hello to her. Whatever.
Cool. Yeah, right on. People need to figure it out, but knife throwing, to figure out like the financial part, I think is going to require, like I said, a sponsor that is maybe even like a new one. I don't know. I mean, it seems like, like when Liquid Death came out, the only way I knew about it was everybody trying to get a sponsor. Like, I never saw it in a case ever. I only saw it on videos with people like fronting and facing it to show you, hey, pick me.
Brilliant marketing. Brilliant.
Yeah. But I think that's going to be where it goes. But hopefully you guys can get something like that. And I wish I had my glasses so I could read.
You're right. I need to reach out more. What I need to do is I need to hire Natalie. Natalie is amazing. at the marketing stuff. You know, she contacted all those news crews for us, the paper, all that stuff, and that was a step in the right direction. It didn't help at all, but it was cool. It was cool for me, the people involved, and DangerFest. You know, in knife throwing in general. It just didn't. It didn't help then. It may help in the future. You know what I mean? Like I need to get myself out there. And believe me, I do stuff behind the scenes all the time. I contact people. I write emails.
Sure.
I contact different companies and shit.
Well, I mean, you have tons of visibility on the social media platforms. You know, what I would consider doing would make like a really dope montage of like what you like about like, you know, and I'd do like even some lifestyle stuff like Pandora, you know, like y'all's whole lifestyle at the house and stuff, the orchard. You know, I'd kind of like show it, you know, like the videos have the dope ass like back, you know, like the background history intro kind of thing, right? And then have like a cool montage. And dude, find out whose eyes need to see that at companies. Like look up some companies, find out who their like director of marketing is, and maybe who their person underneath them is, and underneath them also, so all of them can get it. And I would just PDF send that shit to every bottling can company that you could think of. I mean, just get on Google and be like, you know, cheerleader beer companies and just, you know, just like energy drink companies, and just, you know, get you a mass email and put that file on it and send it to all of them and see if any of them are interested in like, oh, they live out in middle America on an old ass house on a fucking orchard and they are really cool and their dog is really cool and its name is Pandora and she is really fun and they have all these friends and he has this indoor thing and oh he's been doing it forever and there's all of these videos and all this content and he does the largest knife throwing event in the country. Yeah, dude, like that seems like a really easy sell. Like I don't know if are you guys watching want to send him some money? Like it seems like an easy value build. You know what I mean? You just like, this is my family. This is my dog. My house built in 1917. My 900 orchard trees. Look, a piece of fruit. And, you know, man, I mean, just,
that's a good idea.
So, I mean, especially for brunt workwear, early morning, your house, porch light comes on, fog over the corn. Yeah, dude.
And by the way, Brunt Workwear, they've been super cool. I have not talked to the owners of the company. I've been talking to this guy named Bailey that takes care of all the social media for them. But it kind of seems like he's asking the owners, or I don't even know how it works. They're a huge company now. They've been around for 4 years. They're going up against Red Wing boots, for God's sake. You know, they're huge. They make excellent stuff.
In America.
I love their boots. I love all their clothing. So I'm trying to stay in their ear for later on. So we'll see where that goes.
See, that's a great cohesive look, right? I mean, with knife throwing and like workwear. Yeah,
but
because like
hell, the last commercial I saw, they had Travis fucking Pastrana in it. So it's like,
so I mean, you know, it's in the same vein. Here's the other thing: is like if there's someone watching and you want to be like Travis Pastrana or be like you, which one's cost of entry is more likely for a 12-year-old that wants to be like either one of you people? I need a $15,000 bike. And I need $60,000 in dirt, or I need I need a $40 knife off of Amazon in 4 meters.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like
that's a good point.
And for me, if I was a company, that would be kind of my jam. Like I'd be trying to find somebody that can, you know, it's all about affordability, and I guarantee you, coming up, that's not going to not still be the issue. So, and there may be a lot of things you won't be able to even get, period. But like a knife, man, they're already here. You know, I mean, they're everywhere. And it's a cool skill set that I can attest that translates over to so many other hobbies because I came from one to this skill set and now I'm doing another skill set based off of a lot of what I know foundationally from this one. And so like some people that nerd out just because they like to learn, I'm really good for a hobby for 3 years and I'll go to another one. Like I've been doing it my whole life and I revisit them and stuff. But what I've noticed is all of them are really similar. So I have an interest in like a certain type of like mechanic and a certain type of like processing the information that makes that work. Like they're all real similar. I don't have any team sports. They're all individual hobbies. Like none of them require another human, that kind of thing. So I think that, for throwing and for companies that are going to be looking for something like that, they need to be looking to want to identify with that lifestyle that is throwing. And same way, like beer companies have always had guys on old Harleys sitting on porches laughing with like some hot chicken Daisy Dukes and boots. Like, where's that? Like liar, liar.
Yeah.
But you sell that lifestyle, and I have a high life in my hand all of a sudden. It's like whatever.
Yeah. It's all fucking smoke and mirrors, man.
Yeah,
hey, do you mind doing me a favor? Will you answer some questions? I'm gonna go take a piss real quick, and then I'll come back. Thank you.
Yep. All right, guys. I don't have my glasses on, so I'm gonna get away from this thing and do the best I can. Let's see here. I'm just gonna start back a little ways. Indiana, and Alabama. Yeah, that's, man, you don't get much more bumpkin than that probably, but that's good. I just watched one of Full Tank's recent posted videos and would like to inquire how Full Tank can throw a knife like a girl and a badass at the same time. Well, a lot of the throw-in, I remember when I first kind of got into it, I watched Michael Labanovich all the time. He got this IBA style, and it was just this look kind of sissy-ish to me, right? What I have learned is your tendons move a lot faster than your muscle groups do. So if you want to throw something fast, it doesn't have to get thrown very far, like a knife at 5, 6, 7 meters, which isn't very far. That motion is way faster than you're ever going to get using like a muscular section as opposed to your tendons. So maybe that answered it. Maybe that didn't. I don't know. How is that even possible to be a badass knife throwing girl? Yes, they badass knife throwing girls do exist, and it also would be your definition of badass. So apparently QB is good at marketing, or I think that's what his name is. God, man, my eyes suck, dude. They're so bad.
It's okay. It says CB.
Oh, okay. Want to send me some money, dude? Do you take food stamps? He's about to order some brunts. Yeah, Larry, dude. I mean, I think those boots are made in America, weren't they? Did you tell me that? And I looked it up.
So they
that's
everybody in America always wants American-made shit, but they never want to pay for it, right? So yes, all of Brunt stuff has been made overseas until now. They now have American-made boots. They
love it.
They heard everybody talking. Yes, you can go get American-made boots now. Yes, they cost more. Yes, they're higher quality, but that's what everybody's been asking for. So
you guys do know how that works, right? Like if you want someone to make $35 an hour, which is barely a livable wage right now, since the average house is $420,000 in America. Yeah, dude, you're gonna pay $300 for a good pair of boots, and if you don't like that, then just don't go fucking buy a good pair of boots.
Yeah, and honestly, I've had the pair of boots that I've had from them for 2 years now, and they're the most comfortable boots I've ever had. They're good quality. The heel is starting to come off on one of them, but I've been wearing them every day. But anyway, if you guys are going to buy Brunt workwear, anything, use code FullTangClan, all one word, all caps 10. FullTangClan 10. It's $10 off anything.
Nice.
Anything over $60.
Sick.
And I'll be giving away another pair of boots on my live stream the first Thursday of December. So
awesome! All right, you need to rig that, and I wear an 11.
Yeah, that last pair went to Mac. I gave Mac the Thrower of the Year plaque, and he got those.
I think Aiden might be Thrower of the Year this year. I'm just saying, like, if he keeps it up, I think you guys are gonna. I don't even think it's a handicap of his age. I think it may just be like it may just be an extra. But I mean, talking about marketable. I mean, maybe you just need to be his manager and take like a huge cut. I don't know.
He's definitely in the conversation right now for sure.
I mean, he is something, dude.
I really don't start to think about that until January, honestly. Yeah. But
I mean, my whole thing with him is like the fact that he is so young and very, I mean, around adults. He is so legit around adults to be a young kid, which is if you've been around shitty kids as an adult and still trying to like maintain some sort of like level of enjoyment, pretty hard, dude. Like I kind of want to throw you out into the swimming pool.
Yeah.
But that kid was so cool to be around. He was funny on his own. Like he was actually like legit funny.
Yeah.
He throws insanely good. And that's the other thing is like talking about like somebody that you could like really be something awesome without like, being some like crazy, you're going to be a great gymnast parent or something. Just being cool around him. I think he would vibe on throwing long enough to like carry that torch later, because like, when you're 50, like, I mean, you'll be cool, but you'll be 50 cool, like you won't be, you know, now cool. Like I'm older than you. I know that. Like I used to own shops here and was fairly cool. And now it's like old people that know me, but like it's hard to even go to like some of the places that, old bars and I go to, and I'm like, who are you? And they're like, who are you? And I'm like, oh yeah, who am I? Like I'm not anybody anymore. Like that was a long time ago. So
I just hope Aiden sticks with it. We'll see. He's involved in a lot of other sports, and I understand that. And of course, why would I?
There's still girls and driver's license to go. So I mean, we've got a lot of hurdles.
He's got many stages in life to go through. But why would I steer him away from football or baseball or basketball? And if he's good at those, go do those. You have much better chance of
you want to get a scholarship. For
amazing life. Yeah.
If you want to talk to us poors and kick us down some content, we'd appreciate it. Oh, come in! Yay!
By the way, sorry, it's been sitting right here. I haven't opened it yet.
No, that's awesome. I'm glad it came.
Yeah, thank you. Is there anything extra in there, or is it just the knife?
It's the knife and the banner. So the banner is dope.
Okay, I remember
big
now.
Ass banner. I think you sign it and either get with Dom or Mac and see where it goes next, I guess.
Well, we'll see how they act.
Man, I had the hardest time throwing that stiletto. I was so bummed because watching it, I was like, that's my knife. And I did not throw it very well at all. I was really.
Is that the one with the guard or without the guard?
No guard, with Zach scales.
Yeah,
with Vapor Blade scales.
I happen to like it. I threw Max when he had his here. I do prefer it without a guard, just because of how versatile it is. But I like the way it looks with a guard. If I was going to throw it for rotation, I would want it with the guard, just because I like traditional style knives and whatever. But yeah, it's an excellent.
No, our first freeze, man, that sucks. The internet's tired of us, I think. Is he freezing, guys? He's froze on mine.
Hey, Lee, since you're watching right now, send me an email. Tell me everything you want me to know. You want the viewers to know about that knife you sent me, how you made it, what steel it is. I will tell the length and the weight and how it throws. I'm going to be filming that this week, I promise. And then I'm going to move on. I have a lot of other knives in order. I got, probably 6 knives over there that are, begging for my attention. Just really, really cool shit that I just haven't got around to because I haven't felt like it, honestly.
Must be nice.
Yeah, I guess. Be careful what you wish for.
No kidding. Man, it's really good talking to you. We haven't got to chat in a while.
I know.
Thanks for you guys hanging out for a little bit. That's we always appreciate when you guys are here.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody watching, and thanks for being a good friend, man. It's always awesome talking to you. And,
I appreciate you guys still accepting me around. I don't think I've put content out since I think it's been September, and but there's still I get on there once or twice a day and check all you guys' stuff out, and there's always just killer shit on there that I probably can't do anyway. So I mean, it's just cool to be a part of it, and I love to see people still throw up the Illuminati gang sign and put the hashtag in and stuff like that. Just means everything. So it's just it's super fun. But if anybody is getting burnt out, don't quit. Go find something similar and just
take a break.
Do that for a little bit, and then come back. Because like all of my ain't nothing for sale. Well, there's some stuff for sale that's not throw, but like I'm not quitting knife throwing or anything. But this is like I can go and like throw this and also just get to rip something out 300-400 feet. It feels good, it's not like I did it 9 meters, or whatever. It's like you can really chunk something way out there. You're walking in the woods with your friends. It's free. For me, it's just heavily available. Like you'll trip over a disc golf thrower. I'll never see a knife thrower in Alabama unless it's McNeese, and so I never see a knife thrower in Alabama. So I mean, I just want to, and that was my thing, is like I didn't want to get tired of it, and so what I found was just a rubber round version of it. Check out that artwork, bro. Who's gonna not send that back to me?
Oh man, that's hot.
There's my phone number if y'all want to call me. Just kidding. But yeah, at any rate, dude, yeah, I love all you guys. I mean, and
Yeah, love
James,
you too,
you
man.
are killing it, bro. Like your whole family is just like that is the most pointed family I've ever seen in my life, man. Like,
yeah, I totally agree with everything you said about them. They're amazing kids. They're fun
I
to
mean,
have
the
around.
parenting, the backstory, like talking about if there was ever like a throwing movie that was going to be like a documentary that wasn't going to be about like you or some like, legendary thrower, like, man, that would be an easy one to sit and watch, wouldn't it? Like, holy
I
shit,
agree. I
dude,
agree.
that'd be so rad. James, get on it, man. I know all those kids are going to be some like awesome editor or something. Surely, I mean, you got like 19 of them. We got like a whole basketball team of children.
Yeah, he's
I guess
starting an
if
army,
you look
dude.
good, like don't matter.
Yeah.
You got it.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Stay tuned on Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern time for the live, and we'll see you next time.
Later, guys.
Peace. Later, man.